Mike Stanzel.
Mike Stanzel, 2510 96th Avenue, Court East, Edgewood. Well, in Chapter 1, we heard and showed how the city staff refused to provide me with utility service because, well, they didn't want my business to locate where it is now. The City Council apparently, as a matter of policy, had decided and continues to, even to this very day, to control land use outside the city limits by withholding utility service. That's illegal. Okay. In Chapter 2, last week, we heard and showed how the city staff then refused to allow me to use my well on my property because my property was in the city's water service area. I was told that I would need to turn over my right to the city staff to choose or vote on annexation or taxing districts at some unknown time in the future with unknown consequences and unknown expense. I was told if I didn't agree to sign over power of attorney to the city, I couldn't use my property. Told me, you can't use your property. In Chapter 3 tonight, I've given you copies of the hearings examiner's minutes from back in 1999 for my case and my neighbor's case, two different cases, where the city was refusing to allow him to install a well on his property or hook up utility services. Lila Mills, the city attorney, and Tom Heineke and Tom Utterback were all involved in those cases. You'll note the liberal use of the term exclusive service area. You'll also note, as a matter of record, the city refused to relinquish the properties from its water service area. It's right there in the record. You'll note that Mr. Utterback stated on page 5 of Terry Larson's hearing that the City Council required 100% compliance with its comprehensive plan as the code uses the word shall. Okay. On page 6, Mr. Heineke reappeared and stated that the city is the principal water provider, and one obtains a permit from the county, one must have a water availability letter. They have not actively gone out and told people the city is the purveyor, but when developers go to the city, they find out. Now, here's the most preposterous thing, though, here. This is important. During those hearings, both of them, the city's main argument was, well, Mr. Stanzel never applied, so we don't know whether we give him water service or not. They said the same thing with Mr. Dennison. He never applied, so we don't know whether we're going to give him service or not. So we need to start this whole thing all over, have him apply, and then we can go through this process. Okay, so I gave you a copy of the pre-annexation agreement last week, and I was going to touch back on that today. Owner agrees to waive any right to free speech guaranteed by the constitutions of the United States. Right there. Owner will actively promote such local improvement districts and shall not act or speak in any manner. Owner, by accepting, grants to the city an irrevocable power of attorney to execute any local improvement districts.
I'm sorry, but your time is up, sir, and I regulate the time equally for all people.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.